I'm Donald Woolsey.
I'm Sharon Woolsey, and we've been addicted to methamphetamine for over 20 years.
My name is Christy Oberhausen, and I started using drugs at the age of 14.
My name is Brian Hahn, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I'm really happy to be here, share my testimony a little bit.
I was incarcerated in December of 2012.
December 17, 2013, we were arrested for manufacturing methamphetamine.
My charge was dealing in methamphetamine. They had found a meth lab in my car.
Well, I come to Branchville in February 2013 or 2012. This is my 5th time being incarcerated. I've been all throughout the state, mostly all drug-related offenses.
I was married for 9.5 years. I was pretty unhappy. I grew depressed. I didn't realize how to deal with depression. You know, I self-medicated, but I didn't really handle it as well as I thought I did.
That became our main thing in our life. It consumed our lives. It took our children, head them down the wrong path.
We came from a drug addicted background, family, abusive, poor, and you know, those are kind of prerequisites for people that genuinely fall into those same patterns of lifestyle.
I decided to turn to methamphetamine. The guy introduced it to me, and from that moment on, I decided I didn't want to be married anymore.
Our children had been addicted to meth, pills, and alcohol. They were just following in our footsteps.
I was unable to get clean, so I just continued to use. You know, I couldn't use enough methamphetamine to cover up the guilt and the shame that I felt.
We lost everything we owned, our trailer, pretty well all our possessions.
Growing up in them circumstances, I prided myself on monetary value of the car that I drove, the TV that was hanging on the wall, the watch that I wore, the clothes that I wore, the rims on the car.
In my mind, I thought that I was going to get clean tomorrow. Tomorrow I was going to get clean and things were going to be better.
It was just so total chaos. Meth was the first thing that we thought about in the mornings, and it was the last thing. It's the only thing that we thought about every day.
I could never fill that void that I was searching so hard for.
I was just so tired of getting beat up, you know, on the street, being homeless, having nowhere to go. Every relationship that I had, it disintegrated. My life was like a vortex of destruction. Anything that I touched was destroyed.
We used to chase meth for 12, 13, 14 hours a day.
You know, I've kind of been, you know, in this downward spiral where I figured, you know, if I didn't tell on anybody, if I abided by these fast lifestyle rules, then everything was okay. And I was kind of formed to that lifestyle.
It was God to us at one time. It really was.
And I wanted something different so bad, you know, because there were times in my using days that I couldn't even afford a quarter pop. You know, I couldn't even, you know, afford nothing. There was nowhere for me to go. Life just, it was horrible, and I didn't want to go back to that.
I would say that I was just, you know, stuck in a rut. I had no direction, no hope. I had full intention of getting out and committing the same crimes that I've done all my life.
I had been praying for the last year to God to stop us, to help us, because there was no way for us to stop on our own. I didn't think the answer was jail, but evidently, I'm not God.
I knew God existed, and I had asked God into my heart when I was a kid, but I didn't understand. And it was that moment in that room when I said the sinner's prayer. I said it in my own words. I said, and I just cried out to God, and I asked him to come into my heart and into my life. And at that moment, I had physical pain leave my body where I used to inject meth in my arm. And from that moment on, my life was different.
While we were in jail, I talked to this lady, and come to find out she was a Chaplain Pat, there at the jail. And she had passed my jail cell several times, and even pointing at me, so I thought I was in trouble. But she had the guard come get me out of that cell, and I was scared to death at that moment. But she was smiling and all happy, and she said, "I just want to talk to you." She was the one that brought up Tony Metcalf, to that she believed that he would be able to help me, because he had lived some life like I had lived, and and I just could not believe that a pastor could ever be a recovered addict.
I heard about CEO while I was in jail. People had told me, talk to Tony Metcalf. He can help you out. And I was looking for any possible way that I could get my foot in the door to help change my life.
I thought, though, at the time, if they knew that what we were, or what we had been in, that they wouldn't really want to love on us so much. But wrong answer. They were, the more they found out about us, the more they loved on us.
I met Tony Metcalf at Kairos, and I didn't know him. I didn't know he was going to be the blessing that he is. He's been nothing but helpful and loving towards me. And I didn't know anybody.
I got a 10-year sentence, but I got to go to Branchville and do a 9-month therapeutic program, come out and go to drug court, which I'm now in drug court, which is a good program. They help hold you accountable.
He said, whatever problems you're having with your family or whatever, send them to me. It's been a true blessing. He's taken my family in, not just my mom, who's in full-blown addiction, but my sister and her kids. Love. It's love. That's what it is. Unconditional love from somebody that I didn't have. Prior to Kairos, I had no connection. Never reached out for help like that. And,
that was my first visit I got when I was there. I was in the A dorm, and he was the first one that came in and seen me, and it was touching, because I knew then that, okay, I'm not at this totally alone, Even though I had God, I took God in there with me, which is another thing that helped my bit a lot better.
I remember when he called home from prison, and for the first time I couldn't understand a word he was saying because he was crying so much because Tony had come to see him.
Tony, through CEO, coming through, doing Celebrating Recovery, I felt like I had a little connection to the outside, something that helped me know everything was okay. It wasn't just her telling me things. It was all right. It was fine.
I was scared. I was scared to come back out of the jail because I was afraid of what could be waiting for me out here. And, from the moment that I was released, I had decisions to make.
one of the things that I've learned since I've been here is that if you have any chance of success outside of these walls, that the success is going to come through Christ. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I've seen a lot of failures. I was one of them people.
we had decided then that it was time to change our lives. So we had decided to go to church and to find a church. And we had set out to find this little church on Riverside. We knew this couple, and they had been a pastor there for like 45, 50 years. And so we went there, and they weren't there. The church was closed. So we were driving around, and he thought I said Second Walnut, but we ended up at Second Walnut. I really truly believe that God had led us to Second Walnut.
Yes, definitely.
And I had heard about churches embracing offenders, so I looked it up and contacted CEO and scheduled a meeting with Tony so that I could find out about how I could get into the program.
I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had people that were willing to help me. I had a friend that was going to give me money, a car, place to live, shoes, clothes. And it's hard for the people in my past life to understand how I could choose to be homeless and go to the rescue mission instead of accepting this help. And I had made a decision through some guidance that and prayer that I had to completely turn my back on that old lifestyle and rely on Christ.
We had talked to Tony, and so he had asked me what was I wanting, what did I expect from CEO, Churches Embracing Offenders, and I wanted just a little bit of what he had. I wanted to spiritually grow, and that's one thing I can honestly say through CEO. It's helped us to grow.
They welcomed me with open arms, and they loved me. Tony has mentored me. He's become my best friend. He's my mentor. He's my pastor. He is somebody that I go to in the CEO for accountability, for structure.
By me enrolling in CEO, it was then a part of my drug court program. And it was just something else to help keep me in line. And turns out that I enjoyed the class. You know, I not only learned how to think differently and apply positive thinking into my life, into my recovery, but I also made some of the closest friends that I have today through that program.
They helped us out so much with just the little things in life. You know, they clothed us, you know, they feed us or they fed us, you know, spiritually and physically. And they were just always there. We got mentors through the program, and our mentors taught me a lot about, like, you know, family and just being accountable for, you know, things and having dignity and the Word of God and learning how to be a mother again. So
We ended up finding us a church and a program that helped us grow and build our family back to the way it should be, and helped guide our kids more down the right path now.
Right.
Through Christ.
So I was attending Oak Hill Christian Center, and they had a Celebrate Recovery program. And my dad, who is also in recovery, he would go to class with me. And I really enjoyed Celebrate Recovery through Oak Hill Christian Center. They welcomed me with open arms. They didn't judge me when I walked into the room. You know, and then I got hooked up with some women in Oak Hill that really taught me how to be a lady, how to dress like a woman, how to have women friends. Because when I was in my addiction and even before, I didn't have women friends. I didn't have female friends. And, you know, they were really there to teach me and not judge me, but just really, you know, wrap their arms around me and embrace me.
I haven't needed or wanted for anything. You know, my first month out, I was jobless, and I was taken care of. I can say that, you know, I've never had a need or a want that wasn't fulfilled through the church. through Tony, through CEO. The times that I didn't have places to go, I would go to CEO and hang out.
Churches Embracing Offenders is a program that gets you connected to people who are willing to help you, who are willing to guide you into a positive new way of life. They want the best for you. You know, when I didn't have hardly any clothes for work when I was applying for jobs, CEO helped me get clothes that I could wear at my interviews.
My church had become my family so much. You know, you have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and cousins and, you know, I mean, and I just love them. You know, they became family. They were always there for me, always.
I continued to go to CEO, to the Thinking for Change. I continued to stay in the middle of the boat in recovery. And I went on to graduate Churches Embracing Offenders.
Everywhere we go, you know, we can witness. And we just want to tell people how much God's done for us and how it's so good. You know, it's just amazing. And I can't believe that it took 48 years, you know, to get it.
My relationship with Jesus Christ is personal. It is something that I never thought that I would have. You know, I used to look at people and envy them who were happy all the time. And I'm like, why are they happy? What do they have something to be happy about? Today, I'm happy, joyous, and I'm free.
He transformed us. He's blessed us. And I don't know, he's just helping our whole family get back and get on the right track. Is one of the biggest blessings I think of all is that now I know I'm showing my kids the right way to live, not the wrong way.
There are things that I'm not proud of, but by God's grace, I don't have to be ashamed. I continue to talk to people who are incarcerated and let them know that there is another way. Because when I was there, I remember thinking, wow, I wonder if I could do that one day. And it's coming true. God has restored so much in my life. It's just like how it was before I was in active addiction. My life has been completely restored.
God calls the impossible. He calls the lowest of people. That's when he gets you, when you are the most broken. And he changes you. He can change things about you that you can't do yourself. And I know if it wasn't for God, that we wouldn't be sitting here today. You know, we would be worried about out there somewhere, or we would be dead.
Where I knew the answers were as simple as follow me. And, you know, we all fall short, but through the grace of God, you know, and through Christ, we're made worthy. I take pride in that. I take pride in being able to stand up at church and sing to God and read my Bible every morning and prayer and meditation. It's something that I had been searching for my whole life, and I didn't realize it was that simple.
My mess is my message. I'm an overcomer by the power of the blood, by the word of my testimony.
Salvation, it's a beautiful thing. It's awesome that God took all that. We don't have to live like that no more. You know, I mean, I know that I am worthy. We are worthy.
My worst day clean is beyond far better than my best day being high.
I know Churches Embracing Offenders, it works. It is so, you know, and it helps you to grow so spiritually. And it just kind of like takes you by the hand, and then like learning how to ride a bicycle, you know, they teach you and then they just, you know, and it's awesome.
CEO has helped change my life. And it has continued to help change many other people's lives. And CEO matters. Without CEO, many people may not get the chance to change.
I just pray, we pray that you guys will see just how much you guys,
The importance of the program.
yeah, the importance of it.
The importance and all what they do for the community to help people along that was broken, such as we were. We want to thank and bless each and every person that supports this program.
We know because, you know, we were helped by CEO, so we know that there's going to be more people. We know,
Yes.
you know, because if, like my kids would say, you know, if our parents, you know, can stop doing math, anybody can.
If my life has been affected in the way that it has, I want other people to have CEO to reach out to.
It's just been a great experience to be able to accept the love of Christ through this ministry, through this church, and through this program.
You have to be around successful people if you want to be successful.
CEO helped change my thinking. They got me hooked up with a church, with people who are willing to work with me, that I could trust and lean on. And it helped change my life. You know, if it can change mine, it can change yours.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you so much, you know. So we're grateful.
Very grateful for the program.
So we wouldn't be sitting here right here today if it wasn't for Churches Embracing Offenders.
When the enemy starts to come on, just the three simple words of Jesus, Jesus,
Amen.
Jesus,
Yeah.
just takes it. He can just pull it. It just changes your whole mind thought.
CEO has been there to answer questions that needed to be answered when I needed spiritual direction. You know, when I was, which way should I turn? I had somebody to ask that I could trust.